The breakdown of UFC 211. Finally, it's here. I've been breaking down some of my live shows. Didn't get too into, the exact kind of details, but we can get into it here. We don't want this to be a 5-hour long show, so anything else, I'm sure we can talk about later. But we'll start with Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier. This could be a main event on any fight night or anything like that. You look at Eddie Alvarez's record, he's the underground king, right? That's his name. Yeah. I just, stylistically and, matchup wise for Dustin Poirier, and you look, Dustin Poirier, and this could be the one that gets him over the hump. And I think that's what's going on here. They're trying to see where he's at. But Dustin Poirier is a guy, whenever he fights like the elite of the elite, he struggles. He just does. And there's argument like, well, he beat Max Holloway. He beat Max Holloway in 2012. That's a different Max Holloway. But, outside the top 5, he's a fucking nightmare to deal with. He just is. Dustin Poirier does everything well. He's been fighting for a long time. He's finally a veteran. At this weight class, he's a monster. I'm not sold on him yet. And the argument's gonna be like, well, is Eddie Alvarez over the hill? Like, look at Eddie. Look who Eddie's beat, being the Bellator champion, being the UFC champion. He's a Hall of Famer. Hate to tell you guys this, and I don't know why a lot of people aren't talking about it. He's a straight up Hall of Famer. Bellator champ, UFC champ. If you don't know Eddie Alvarez, go back and watch his fights when he fought Michael Chandler in Bellator. They're ridiculous. And you go through and you see all the guys who he's beat, man. Let's just go over some of the names here. He beat Aoki, which you diehard MMA fans know. He beat Chandler. He beat Patrick Pitbull by KO head kick. So Aoki, Chandler, Gilbert Melendez, Anthony Pettis, Dos Anjos, and then scroll down even before that. He's been doing work forever, man. He's just a guy, if you remember when he's fighting in Dream. Remember Joachim Hansen? Yeah. Remember that? Kawajiri? Beat both of them. He's been doing it forever, man. He just has. And those true MMA fans, they love this guy. But he's a Hall of Famer. He's a legit Hall of Famer. If he's getting that gold coat, man, he just is. I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about it, but I just don't see, unless Eddie Alvarez finally all the years and the wear and tear has caught up to him. I don't see him losing this fight. I really don't. He's been there with best of the best. Dustin Poirier hasn't been tested of a guy at this level and passed the test. I think Eddie Alvarez matches up with him very well. It's not a 5-round fight. For 3 rounds, Eddie Alvarez is a nightmare. Now people are going to go, well, Eddie Alvarez, when he fought Conor McGregor, it's Conor McGregor. Look what Conor McGregor did to Dustin Poirier. So MMA math doesn't work here, does it? I'll take Eddie Alvarez by decision. What do you got, Jen?
I didn't even think about that one, but I would probably go with Dustin Poirier. Yeah.
What's the odds? You have the odds?
Yeah. So Dustin Poirier is minus 130, but then Eddie Alvarez is plus 110.
Jesus
so not
Christ.
really.
That's basically a pick 'em. All right.
Next fight.
Main card. Cejudo versus Pettis. Whew. Henry Cejudo's he's the best guy at this division of 125 pounds, not named Joey Benavidez or not named Mighty Mouse. And he's lost to both of them back to back. Obviously Demetrius Johnson just dismantled him like a motherfucker. And then Joey Benavidez, he lost by split decision, so he's right there. And he was deducted a point, if you remember. I think in the second round. They kept hitting him low blow, I think. Is that right? But it's again, we see Dustin Poirier. I look at him as far as, facing this upper echelon guys. You look at Sergio Pettis, who, he hasn't beat a ton of top caliber guys. Moraga is a top talented guy. He was a guy who fought for the title. He beat him in a decision. I have a hard time picking Pettis in this fight. Cejudo, he's just, you're talking about an Olympian, you're talking about a guy who split decision, Joey Benavidez. And I think Joey Benavidez would eat fucking Sergio Pettis up. I don't know the odds, but show me after I pick.
Sure.
I'll take Cejudo, and I think he gets done TKO.
Let's check.
The odds would say decision.
Wow.
What is it?
Minus 440 for Cejudo.
That's a huge favorite. Huge favorite in mixed martial arts. All right. Who you got? You going different?
I was probably going to take Cejudo anyways. Too.
It's the safe bet for sure. But you look at the body of work, especially if you're going to bet on it. Cejudo's probably the bet there.
Cool. Next one, Yair versus Frankie Edgar.
What a great fucking Yair El Pantera Rodriguez. Was it the greatest nickname of all time? Looks like a dime piece, and he's a big ass dude too for that division. Give me your take on this one.
My take?
Yep.
I do like Yair, but I think he's just more flashier. Mm-hmm. I think for what I always believed in Frankie Edgar's skills, his technical skills.
Okay,
and I just believe that Frankie Edgar will fight through all the. I'm not going to call it bullshit, but fight through all the flashiness and then
get it done.
Maybe TKO.
That's fair. I think I spoke about this on Fighting Kid. I just don't. I'm not on this Yair Rodriguez train yet. I'm not. Bring up his record for me. He split decision win over Bruce Leroy. You know what Frankie Edgar would do to Bruce Leroy? Are you kidding me? He would eat his ass up. And then, we're all high and mighty on him because he beat a BJ Penn who didn't know where he was at. A walking legend. I can't believe BJ's still fighting. I fucking love BJ. I always watch him fight, but that was a tough fight to watch. He got eaten alive like the sheep off fucking Jurassic Park. He was just there. I think anyone would beat BJ that night. So and most of his wins are decision. He has the highlight that we'll see a million times over Andre Fili, which was a flying head kick, which is great. And he predicted he's going to knock Frankie out, flying knee or kick or whatever the fuck it is. I don't see the hype, man. It's fun, and his highlights are cool to watch, and he's unorthodox, stuff like that. I just think, and there's always the change of a guard, and I was wrong when I picked fucking Cruz over Garbrandt. I thought eventually Garbrandt would be champ. I didn't know this soon, and goddamn was I wrong. Fucking Garbrandt looks great, and I'll eat my words on that. This is a different animal here, though. Garbrandt's beat some out with Almeida. He's beat some tough dudes. But the thing is, he didn't beat him. He fucking dismantled him, murked these, walked through him like a goddamn savage. With Yair, there's no murking or there's no savagery. He's fought very mediocre guys. I just think, and he asked for this fight, and God bless him, man. Will he be champ? I would bet money on that. This year, no. Next year, maybe. This is too much too soon. It's a win-win for him, though. It's very similar to Canelo-Mayweather fight. Canelo was 22 when he fought Mayweather. Fight one of the best of all time. You lose that, it's fucking, it's Mayweather. You're good, man. Keep going. You're young. You'll learn from that. Move on. You lose to Frankie Edgar, don't hang your head. You're only fighting big names from here on out. It's a win-win for him, especially his magnitude. I think early rounds, even if Frankie gets caught, unless you flatline Frankie Edgar, ask Gray Maynard. Unless you flatline him, he's going to be there all fight. Yeah. He's going to be winning on points, taking you down. With those kicks, you're going to get taken down. He's going to wear you out. His cardio is going to be way, way better. And also, Frankie's a black belt in jiu-jitsu under Renzo Gracie. And he has Mark Henry, who has the best footwork in the game. So his team's too good. And just look at who Frankie's beat. Talking about, again, Mount Rushmore Hall of Famer. I got Frankie Edgar. I'll say, I'll say decision, but I really, that first round is going to be interesting. Then after that, I think Frankie takes over and does work on this young buck.
Sounds good to me too. Next fight, Damian Maia, Jorge Masvidal. Have you gone back and thought of a different winner?
It was such a tough fight. Masvidal made me eat my words when he dismantled Cowboy. But it's I'm not taking anything away from Masvidal. It was Cowboy who shouldn't have been fighting that night. It was in his hometown, though. You have to believe there's just a certain guy's time. Was Damian Maia's time when he was in the middleweight division, he got that title shot? Is his time now? Or is he making the biggest career blunder that he can make in taking this fight when he could have waited and fought Woodley in July for a title shot. You know, and Masvidal knows he wins, he gets a title shot. Who'd you pick?
I'd pick Damian Maia.
Oh, God damn it.
That one time he was close to his time a while back when he was on sort of a run.
At middleweight?
He was trying to do more striking.
Yeah,
like
now
boxing.
it's just grappling.
Well, now he's sticking to his bread and butter.
And God, he looks good.
Yeah.
I'm torn, man.
50-50?
50-50. Can't call it.
Oh, what about your heart?
It's my job to call it.
Your
My
heart and
heart's
your
with both of them. My head's with both of them.
Oh, damn.
I might flip a coin. You know what? That's not fair. It's my job to pick a fight.
Oh.
I'll take Damian Maia.
Damian Maia?
Damian Maia via choke.
You want to see the odds?
Sure. Oh, Maia's an
Minus-
underdog. Oh, no, it's minus.
Masvidal minus 130. Damian Maia plus 110.
It's even tough for them to call it.
Yeah.
I'm nervous for that fight. I'm biting my nails as I'm talking to you guys. That fight stresses me out. Whew. Let's move on. So we both got Damian Maia. I switched.
Cool.
I think I picked at the live show Masvidal. The size with Damian Maia, the timing. But then I can see Jorge avoiding the takedown and murking his ass with a head kick.
And you could always live tweet or Instagram right before the fight if you change your mind again, right?
You're right.
It's possible.
But you got to stick with it. I'll go Damian Maia, and then he fights Woodley.
That'd be great.
That's a fun fight.
Next fight, Ioana Jędrzejczyk and Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, Joanna, funny, you look at everyone on this card, you look at Stipe, JDS, Masvidal, Frankie Edgar, Rodriguez, Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, all great strikers, right? Jesus Christ, talking about the who's who in the UFC. And the best striker, man or woman, is Joanna. You know how MTV gave her that award for just best acting in a movie, man or woman?
Gender neutral.
Gender neutral. Joanna is your best striker in the UFC.
Nice.
Doesn't matter, man or woman, she's your best. I think this fight for Joanna, it's not going to be easy. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be easy. Stylistically, it is an easy matchup for her because Jessica, granted, she's bigger and she's strong, and we've seen Joanna get taken down, but she pops back up. You know, she went to a decision with Angela Hill, and you know you can't really do MMA math here, but you know, her thing is to get girls down and ground and pound. Get them down, ground and pound. And she's thick, she's big, she's short, but her striking is very barbaric. It's very brawler power style, which for a technician like Joanna, and when I say that, there's video evidence of this. Go and look at Andrade's striking when she throws right hand and her feet are off the ground or her hips are neutral. She's standing, you know, like you're straddling a horse. Your feet are even. Does that make sense? So she's not always in the best position to knock someone out. Joanna can, you know, she could probably beat her with a blindfold on. I hate to shit on your co-main event, UFC 211, but she could probably dismantle through a blindfold on. But this fight's interesting and fun because she's so powerful. If she does catch Joanna, she's going to be in trouble. But Joanna's so good and she's faced way better competition. I don't see it happening. You know, when's the last time we've seen her get catched really, really good? It doesn't exist. So I just feel like Andrade's going to be there and she's going to eat these shots and keep coming, but it's going to be a bloodfest. She's about to get open face surgery. Yeah. Joanna, you know, and she has a bunch of decisions. I think that surprised a lot of people, but Joanna via a decision. But it's a beatdown.
Bloody beatdown.
Bloody beatdown.
Cool.
Main event, son.
All right, main event. Stipe Miocic, Junior Dos Santos.
Don't show me the odds yet.
Nope.
You know, this fight breaks down to, you know, Stipe, you know, he's had his time off. He had those fights with Cain Velasquez. You know, those took a toll on him, man. You know, you never want to say it, and, you know, a lot of people don't think it, but his corner really should have threw in the flag, you know, the towel in a lot of those fights, and it would extend his career. So, you know, he loses to Cain in that 5-round fucking beat down where he loses his belt. competes with Mark Hunt, spinning heel hook, which is crazy for a heavyweight, and he that was to fight for Kane again. Then he fights Kane, and remember, Kane picks him up and slams him. But again, it was 5 rounds of getting his ass whooped. He was never in that fight. Kane beat the fuck out of him for 10 rounds. You know what it's like? Most people don't get beat up for 10 rounds ever in their career. But that short, you're talking about, in a year, he fought Kane December 2012, fought him again October 2013. In a year, he had 10 rounds of an ass whooping. That'll fuck up your career. Then he fights Stipe after that. Kane picked up, slammed him, right? Then he fights Stipe. And that was on Fox in 2014. He beat Stipe in decision. I had Stipe win that fight. I thought Stipe won that first one. And then after Stipe, which I thought he'd lose it. So remember, in my book, he loses to Kane, gets his ass whooped. Fights Stipe, again, another decision. So you're not 15 rounds between Stipe and Kane total of fucking wars. When I say wars, he was getting the blunt force of most of those wars. He fights Stipe. I thought he loses that one. Then he fights Alistair Overeem. Gets knocked out, which we haven't seen before. We've never seen him get knocked out. Gets knocked out by Alistair Overeem in the second round. Then he takes a lot of time off. December, doesn't fight again till April 2016. And, against Ben Rothwell, he looked good. And it's in Croatia. It was Ben, perfect matchup for him. Slow, big guy. We didn't see really, this grinding pace, which JDS usually struggles with. And then you look at Stipe, and since their fight where technically he lost, Stipe's only gotten better. His confidence has only gotten better. He's beat everybody. Mark Hunt, he beat the brakes off the legendary Mark Hunt. Remember when he beat Andrei Arlovsky? You're talking about, it's prime Andrei Arlovsky. So he knocks out Mark Hunt. Knocks out Andrei Arlovsky. Knocks out Fabricio Verdum in Brazil to get the heavyweight championship. Knocks out Alistair Overeem in the first round and eats a fucking gnarly, was it kick to the face?
I don't remember now.
Either way, he gets knocked to his ass, pops up like a true champion. So I just feel like since their last fight, and Stipe's only blunder, his real blunder on his resume is against Struve, where, Struve knocked him out. And, I'll give him, a pass on that one. But, I just feel like Stipe's gotten better. He has the confidence on his side. I just think it's his time. I don't think JDS wins this fight. And I also don't think this is a decision either. I think Stipe ends up winning this fight via TKO, second or third round.
Good.
What do you got?
This is another one where I just don't know who's going to win. But for some reason, I think it's going to go to decision, and I think it's going to be bad for Junior Dos Santos. I feel like he's going to get beat up really bad.
Really?
Yeah. But
that's a good call.
But I do think Junior can knock out Stipe.
Yeah, if he lands that left hook, that's the thing at heavyweight. He could go in there and Stipe Junior could have an off night, but if he lands that classic left hook, it's over, man. That's heavyweights for you. Listen, if the rest of these divisions, if Frankie Edgar has an off night and Yair lands his left hook, it's not over. If Cejudo and Little Pettis, Little Pettis has an off night and Cejudo lands a bomb of a right hand, it's not over. That's why heavyweight's so exciting, man. So there you have it. So I'm taking Cejudo, Frankie Edgar, Damian Maia, maybe. Joanna by murder, and Stipe Miocic via TKO. It does not go all 5 rounds. That is UFC 211.